Good evening and welcome back to another episode of Altitude and Attitude, where us three vets are going to sit around and talk some shit. Well, usually we sit around and talk some shit, but tonight we're going to do something just a little bit different. We have a guest who's going to come on, Anna Martinez, and she's going to help us navigate through some of the veterans' benefits and maybe even educate us on some things we may not know. So, guys, I know that this week has been really stressful for pretty much anybody that's not white. So maybe later on tonight, if you guys are ready, if you guys are down for it, maybe we can do something to blow off some steam.
I think so.
Yeah. Fight the power.
Fight the power. Stanford, what's going on with you, man? What's been happening?
Well, just living in America, being black. I don't know. I'm just chilling. I can't tell you. The news got me going. I haven't really watched the news this weekend, but so much is going on. We'll talk about it later on. But I'm appreciative that we get these veteran benefits out there. Talk about what's going on, what we can how we can help our own fellow service members, so they can navigate these fields and at least get a little bit access to information they probably didn't have, or they knew but they didn't know that much, and have some personal stories with it. So,
right.
Oh man,
Wait.
There you go.
You've got to try to get in the zone for tonight, Hog.
Oh my God!
Right? Let's all just try to become zen for a moment.
My blood has been boiling all week, and now, but yes, we do Moosaw. Is that what it is, Moose? What?
What the?
One Stanford.
What the hell are you talking?
Wait,
what the fuck is
What
is Moosaw?
Give me a freaking chant.
Woosah. He's a Woosah.
Isn't it Mufasa? Is that what you're trying to say? Jesus.
God, man.
What's wrong with
you
this guy?
suck as a Buddhist.
I tried to.
He was like, I'm looking for enlightenment, and here go Pete. You fucking suck, Mufasa.
All right, look, before we give Hog a stroke because he can't talk about what's happening this week, maybe we should bring Anna in here and she can help us all chill the fuck out. What do you guys say?
I think it's a great idea.
All right, Here we go. Anna Martinez, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you. Hey guys, how are you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
We are good.
Thanks. So I am going to talk about some of the benefits. Some of them are going to be national wise. Some of them are going to be localized. But for the most part, you should be able to find something that I'm talking about, whether it's on a website or just going to your local career center or your local VSO, your VA. These are places that you absolutely should be going as a veteran. Mm-hmm. But let me just tell you guys a little bit about myself. So I served in the Air Force also. I was security forces. I served for 15 years. The first 12, I was a security forces member. And the last 3, I was command post. No offense to command post people.
Oh, poor you.
My life. Okay, I should have stayed security forces. But either way, it was some of the best years of my life. I became a mom while I was in the military, and that was the main reason why I got out too. Because it was very, very important for me to just be a mom at one point. But what I do right now, and I'm not going to specifically talk about my job, but I work for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. I am what is called a DVOP specialist, and DVOP stands for Disabled Veteran Outreach Program. Another word that you would see us use is most likely what you would hear us using is a veteran employment counselor. So my job specifically is to help veterans get back to work. Does that mean I'm just sitting there job searching? Nope, not at all. I will help you write your resume. I will help you with your interviewing skills. I will help you get back into school or training. I will do all of these things that I can for you, right, the veteran. Because
right. So is
no, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just going to ask you. So, is this so you work for the VA? Maybe
No,
missed
I
that.
actually work for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. So I work at what is called I work at a career center. But when you're looking for your local career center, it's actually, you can look up local American Job Center, right? So if you look up an American Job Center, you can put your zip code in and your closest one will pop up and it'll tell you all the veteran services. And one of the best things about all career centers in the United States, all of us, well, I'm not going to say all of them, most of them have a DVOP that specifically work with veterans. But the way I like to say it is all career centers are veteran career centers that allow other people to come in because we get priority of service. So anything going on, we come first.
Okay. Gotcha. That's pretty cool. I wish I had known something about that when I got out, because I think the four of us all remember the TAP classes that we went through when we left. And I don't know about you guys, but my experience with the TAP class was they were pretty worthless. I had no idea what I was getting into. But like you were saying, Anna, they taught us how to write a resume. But I think anybody that spent more than 4 years in the service knows how to write an EPR. They know how to write a fucking resume, right? Why are you teaching me something I did for years?
So this is why, because when you are getting out and we are going through TAP, they teach us how to write a federal style resume, not a civilian style.
I ended up paying a private company to do my resume. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's good. And then I had later on I had my buddies. Dude, it sounded like if you read this, you will think I single-handedly saved the Air Force by myself. You two weren't even involved.
You were Captain Hoggy America.
Yeah. I was like, I read it and I was like, I would hire me.
Yeah, so one of the things right now that a lot of people are running into is AI. So AI could be our friend, but it also can be our enemy. And I'll explain what I mean by that is that there was a company out here in Massachusetts. He was offering like 20 grand a year over what would typically be for that actual position that he had posted. And he was like, how do I have literally zero people applying? And his IT team had put such strict guidelines on the AI that when he applied for the position himself, now it's his company, he's the CEO, he applied to the position himself and his didn't even come through because they had such strict guidelines on what they said. Oh, the AI will only accept it if it does this, 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 and this. If it has a border, it won't take it. If it has one font that's like Times New Roman and another one that's Calibri, it'll just reject them. So technically he had hundreds of people applying and got zero through because of the AI. So these are things we need to actually look at. Yeah, and I see someone said TAP was a waste for me. It was a waste for a lot of people, but we're all trying to work to make it better. So I know when I went through TAP, they taught me how to write a resume and said, you can apply for unemployment. That was all I got out of it.
I think for me, it was that I was so, which I retired in a different mindset, or I retired, but some people separate, but I was in a different mindset. And I honestly am not going to blame TAP for my not knowing everything, because I literally was, I wasn't there. I didn't want to participate. I was mad. I was angry.
Ready to get out, ready to go.
And the fact that I was forced retired, and I'm because of the forced restructuring back then, I had 3 more years to go. I didn't expect to be there. I was mad. I was not in a good frame of mind at that time. So I went, and instead of paying attention, I was mad. And I just, as soon I would show up, sign in, leave. So I'm not going to put that on them. So, I'm
going to be honest. I was pretty bitter too. I was about to re-enlist for my last time.
So was it the same time frame?
Well, I'm not. Well, I don't. When did you get out?
15.
When did you got out in 18?
15.
Oh, 15. So I separated in 2013. Stanford had just gotten locked up, and I had no one for our daughter. Yeah,
did you see that bus go by?
Who started a conversation like that? What the fuck? I'm just drinking beer, listening. God damn.
I had to tell you right, hit you with the bus just for a real quick second, but he was gone, and I had no one for our child.
He was busy. He was on a deployment.
And they told me if I was to re-enlist, I needed to deploy, and they knew I had no one for my kid at the time. And I was like, excuse me? And he said, well, you can be an airman or you can be a mother. And I said, you can go fuck yourself. And I walked out. Actually, lucky they let me separate and didn't go further because I was so angry.
Anna gets one.
Anna got one. Yeah. By the way, Anna, I don't know if anyone told you, but our guests are being forced into the swear bucket here.
It's
so
okay.
You just got one.
Explain the swear bucket, because I get this question all the time. Because nobody knows what the hell it is unless they watched us when we were first starting, and we are still learning, and so it was even worse then. So,
oh my God, you mean it's gotten better? It's gotten better?
Better equipment.
Better equipment. So the idea behind the swear bucket is at the end of each episode, we're going to tally up how much swearing we've done. And for each swear word we use during an episode, that person will be donating into the swear bucket, which is somewhere around Hog. We're not sure where it is. And once a quarter, we're going to take all that money, gather it up, and we're going to donate it to a charity.
That's fantastic. Let's keep going on some charities, right?
Let's fucking do it.
So what I wanted to also talk about is a lot of people are not aware of some of our nonprofits. And every single not every single one of them, but a lot of our nonprofits have what they call HVRP grant, or Homeless Veteran Reintegration Program grants. And they also have SSVF grants, which is Supportive Services for Veteran Families. Now, HVRP, they do multiple things. One of the big things is they will actually work with the veteran to try to get them back into work, but they do everything in their power to try to make sure that veteran does not become homeless, or if they are homeless, they help get them housed again. So
do they have to be honorably discharged, less than honorable?
As long as it's not dishonorable. You can have any discharge type, just not dishonorable. And that's for a lot of things. So like, it's the same thing with what I do for work. If someone comes in and they sit with me and I verify their 214 and it says dishonorable at the bottom, I can't work with them. They're not considered a veteran at that point, no matter if they are actually a veteran or not.
Okay. I'm sorry, but you know what the program, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. So one of the places two of the places I want to specifically speak about is Veterans Inc. and Volunteers of America. Those two you will find almost anywhere in the United States. There's going to be either a Veterans Inc. or Volunteers of America somewhere. A lot of people have Catholic Charities or U.S. Veterans Initiative, and each state might have something different. So what I am seeing is one of the things, and I don't know if any of you have ever heard of this, one of the things that the HVRP program does is they help pay for veterans to get back into training. So let's say you've exhausted your GI Bill, you can't get VRNE, you don't know what to do, you know what your job was, you just can't do it anymore, so you need training. Or unfortunately, a lot of people are getting into cybersecurity, but they get a degree and they come out and they go, man, I still need CISSP. Please don't ask me what that stands for, because I actually don't know. I just know it's a program. And what I do is if they're a post 9/11 veteran, I will call up Vets Inc. and go, hey, I got someone for the CODE program. CODE stands for Call of Duty Endowment. Yes, Call of Duty, the creators of the game, have come up with an endowment grant to pay for veterans to go get some type of training. It just can't be a degree.
Are you serious? Really? The video game?
I benefited from the Call of Duty grant for my Class B CDL. They pay for it outright.
Really? So what? So they paid for us to go back to get training?
So let's say one of you were like, hey, you know what? I want to get my CDL. And you go, hey, Anna, I'm in Massachusetts. I want to get a CDL. I don't have the money for it. Can you help me with something? Absolutely. I'm going to call up Vets Inc. and I'm going to say, hey, I got someone that could be for the CODE grant. Can I, here's his name, phone number, or her name, phone number, email address, please reach out. Every single time they reach out, they'll vet the person. And I have only had, I think, one person get turned away from it because he was all over the place. He was like, I'm doing this and this and this, and now I want this, and it didn't make sense.
He wasn't focused on it. Right. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I even got one guy on the Call of Duty grant. They paid outright for him to become a personal trainer.
Wow.
Really?
I've never even heard of that.
Wow.
That's one
That's pretty awesome. Maybe I should start playing Call of Duty again.
Yeah, but you know, the owners, I don't know, the creators of Call of Duty, I don't know if they're veterans or not, but they absolutely love us and they do a lot for us. And it's not a small grant. So like Stanford was saying, they paid for his CDLB. I think that was like $8,000, or maybe it was less than that. I can't remember, but it was a good amount of money. And they were just like, okay, here you go. Poop. Sent the money right over.
Wow.
Paid for it outright.
Can I ask you another
impressive.
one that a lot of people don't know about the tax benefits of being a disabled veteran?
Yes. So actually, I'm going to get back to that in a little bit because I want to go through a couple of other things.
Jump it too early?
Yeah, just a little too early. I want to hit that one at the end because that's like a real good
Chris jumps on things quick.
Tech versus tech. Let's see who got the balls.
The tech sergeants are talking right now.
Okay, so for the VA has so many different things, but one of the things I want to cover because and I was talking a little bit about this kind of. A lot of us got out and a lot of us have mental health issues. And a lot of us will try to go to the VA and they'll be like, yep, we'll see you in 6 months because we don't have anything sooner. So there is a program and you guys can look it up. And I'm sorry, Pete, I forgot to give this one to you earlier, but it is, I believe, www.telemind, spelled TELEMYND.org. Telemind.org. Now they are partnered with TRICARE, Blue Cross Blue Shield, the VA. So if you get VA medical care and you need mental health care and waiting 3-6 months is not going to work for you, you call community care and say, I want a referral out to Telemind, TELEMYND. And within 2 weeks, you will have a video appointment. It is virtual and they do it all across the United States. So you can go to the website, you can take a look at it. I have a really good contact there. I actually asked her, I told her what I was doing. So I hope she might jump on this at some point today. But she was very happy to know that I was going to promote Telemind tonight because it is something that is really good. And they're all actual certified mental health care workers.
That's awesome.
That's really, so it's TELEMYND. Yep. Okay. Wow.
They even do free webinars. So if you go to their website, they'll have like things where you'll see, oh, webinar, we're going to be talking about this. And it's a free webinar. You can just click on it and sit in on their webinars. And it's all mental health based.
That's amazing. And for those that are listening right now, don't worry about writing all this stuff down. You just listen to what we're talking about. We're going to compile a list for you, and we're going to get it out on Facebook so that you have all of this
It
information.
will be in the description below. It will be in the.
Yeah. This is pretty amazing. I mean, all the things. I mean, I'm learning stuff from these guys. All I thought was that I got benefits from the VA. I get money, and occasionally I get a doctor.
And you get a lot.
Yes.
That's it. And a lot of pills. Let me see if I took. Did I take one? I think so.
Okay, so let's talk
Wow,
about
this is
education.
incredible.
So everybody, of course, knows about Chapter 33, which is the post 9/11. And of course, everyone knows even with Montgomery GI Bill, they have extended that, which most people that had the Montgomery GI Bill don't have it anymore anyway. But let's say you're using your post 9/11 GI Bill and it's about to run out, but you still have like 3 semesters of school and you know you paid into the Montgomery GI Bill. There's a lawsuit that just passed. It's called the RUDSILL, R-U-D, I think it's just 1D, RUDSILL. You can find it right on the VA website. It's a RUDSILL decision that they've made. Now, what happens is you apply for it, and if they approve it, they actually give you back like 2 years of your Montgomery GI Bill.
Dude, really?
I was at that cusp. So I was at the cusp. I had my Montgomery GI Bill, then they flipped this to 9/11. But I already used 4 or 5 months of my Montgomery GI Bill when I was going to. You guys gonna laugh. I went to DeVry.
Went to what?
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. So there is a
2 years.
And of course, Chapter 31, which is VRE, which is Veteran Readiness and Employment. So with Chapter 31, you have to be rated. You have to have a service-connected disability to qualify for VRE. Now, here goes the catch. If you apply for VRE, it doesn't matter who you are. If you apply for it, they're going to set up an appointment with you. It's normally a video conference. You sit there, you talk to them. Most times, you don't get an approval or a disapproval from the person you're talking to. So if I'm your counselor and you're talking to me, and then you get a letter in the mail going, sorry, you're not approved, I was the one that made that decision. So the counselor is the one that makes the decision. Now, what you can do is you can appeal it, but with the Chapter 31, it's a shorter appeal window. It's only like 30 days. So if you know you got to, like, if you know you didn't get approved for it, you need to apply for the appeal right away. The main reason veterans that apply for VRE get denied that benefit is because they'll be like, hey, I tore my ACL. I messed my back up. I can barely stand up straight. I'm going to be a welder. No, you're not.
Yeah, sorry about that, buddy.
I'm rated at 100%. I'm going to go be a cop. No, you're not. You're not going to pay for that. Yeah. So you have to make sure whatever career you're choosing to go into, that it's not going to aggravate your service-connected disability. That's one. And the other 2 things I tell everyone that's going to apply for it, research the schools you want to go to, whether it's a trade school or a college, research those schools you want to go to and research the jobs. Because with VRE, they will pay up to the lowest degree requirement. So if I'm going to be a biochemist, they're not going to be like, well, pay for your bachelor's. They will pay all the way up to my PhD because that's what I need.
Son of a bitch. Oh my God. Wait, now what did VRE stand for?
Veteran Readiness and Employment.
God damn it.
And
that is awesome. Oh my God. I mean, none of us are going to become PhDs, but
you see the heat coming.
PhD and bullshit.
You see how I turned red? Yeah. You see that?
He got mad as fuck. He was like, son of a bitch, I could have been Dr. Pete.
What the? Son of a bitch. I gotta tell you what. I'll just stick to this.
Okay, so another thing that people don't know about, well, a lot of people don't know about it. Did you guys know that the VA offers a STEM scholarship?
What?
Nope, but I see it on this list here, and
there's a whole name for it. It is a STEM scholarship, and if we don't start using it because it's very underutilized, if us veterans don't start using it, they're going to take it away. So we need to start getting people applying for that.
Hold on, Anna. There's somebody said something at the bottom. I can't read it. Can you read that, Hoggy?
Yeah. So we have a question from Greta, who is saying that she said she may have missed this, but if you're rated at 100% disabled through the military, are you still allowed?
Yes, you are.
Work?
Well, depending. So there's two types of 100% ratings, and when you get your letter, it'll say it on there. So a lot of people will get 100% P&T or just 100%. Sometimes they're not permanent in total, which means their disability could get better, right? If they're 100% P&T, they're fine, they can work. Now, if you're 100% P&T and unemployable, then you cannot work and you need to go file for your Social Security benefits. Because at that point, if you are unemployable, you can collect your Social Security.
Right.
And a lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah, that was something else that I learned when my rating was unemployable, and I had a pretty decent advocate who said, "Now go get Social Security." I said, "I'm not eligible for so." She said, "Go get Social Security disability. You can get it now." Sure enough, there it is.
I'm still messing with that.
So now let's talk about Chapter 35. Haga, assuming your kids are using chapter, your kid that's in college.
I can actually speak on this because I have two that have already, one that's graduated college, one that's in college, one that's going to college here in a minute. So go on.
So with the Chapter 35, as Hog knows, this is for your family members of veterans that are 100% disabled. You have to be rated at 100%. So here goes the situation with that the one thing that a lot of people don't know about that and any other GI Bill benefit is that they have a work study program, which can actually get our feet in that federal door. So if your kids are using that Chapter 35, your spouse is using it, if you yourself are using a GI Bill benefit and you're trying to get in the federal door, apply for the VA work study. Get your foot in the door because almost every person that has done that work study ends up getting hired in that place they're doing the work study when they graduate. And that's also another underutilized thing that.
All right, so Saba, I'm sure you're listening. You need to jump on.
What about Doge? Doge cut those people's jobs.
My wife used Chapter 35 as well.
Well, I see one that says, "I'm a brat. Can I use anything?" Well, it just depends. A lot of caretakers, like, we're brats, and then once we get to a certain age, we lose all our benefits unless we end up marrying in, right? So, or joining ourselves. But if you're still a caretaker, you might actually still have access to benefits.
What's your age, Sandy? What is it? It's like 23, 24. That's Jenny's sister.
Okay, so VSOs. A lot of us do not utilize our veteran service officers. Now, I will say this. A lot of VSOs are not certified. They're not accredited through the VA. So they have to go through like all kinds of courses and stuff to become accredited so they can actually help you file for your service connected. And there are nonprofit places that can do that for you. The Disabled American Veterans, they have people that have become accredited through the VA, then they will help you file for free. They also have a bunch of different other places, and I don't know every place in every state. So I would definitely look that up, because I'll give you guys a story. I have a veteran. He's 77. And when he came to see me the first time, he was 76. No, yeah, he was 76 years old when he first came in to see me. And he sat down and he said, I was in Vietnam. I applied for a service connected. I got 10%. I applied again and they denied me. I hired a lawyer.
Yeah.
That was 12 years ago. Nothing has moved forward. I picked up the phone and called the VA. I said, what is going on with this? I handed him the phone first, because obviously I can't speak on his behalf, but I handed him the phone. He said, please, I'm giving you permission to speak to Anna. So he hands me the phone back, and I said, can you tell me why he still hasn't moved forward? It's been 12 years. They said, he just needs a CMP exam. His lawyer for 12 years sat on a CMP exam.
Comp and pen. Yep.
So he needed his comp and pen exam. I said, can you please schedule him for one? We'll make sure he gets there. Thank you. Literally 2 days later, he called me. Hey, Anna, take the day off. I'll pay you $200 to take me to the appointment. I said, no, sir.
Right.
Nope. And of course, Stanford was like, I'll take him.
You know, I've heard a lot of veterans who they go out and they hire lawyers to help them navigate through the VA system. But the one thing that I found that helped me more than anything was just finding somebody like you who was an advocate, somebody who knew what was going on, who to call, and how to talk to them. I'm not suggesting that a lawyer doesn't know, but I think the advocate knows a lot better.
So I will say it this way, because obviously I'm not going to call out the lawyer's office or anything. But what ends up happening is some of these lawyers, they're getting 20% of whatever you get.
Yeah.
So 20% of 12 years, one phone call, I got him from 10 to 50% with one phone call. And she got 20% of that.
Right.
And she did nothing. Well, I said, you need to fire that woman. That's not okay. And I said, absolutely. I want you to go to this person. And I sent him over to the DAV, and he is 100% now.
It's amazing. It really, I mean, it's amazing. You know, it just goes to show that you don't have to be getting paid. I mean, they got 20% to do nothing, man. Nothing.
And he just,
and somebody who's not getting, it's incredible.
I would say though, really, some don't do nothing. Some don't do nothing.
That is true. That is true.
That's the route that I had to go, because during COVID, they kept losing my records, and I just needed somebody that knew what they were doing. I didn't know, you know, at that time it's so weird. You couldn't just like walk into the VA. You couldn't just walk in here, walk in there. And another veteran gave me a number of a good attorney, and I called him, and within it wasn't even that long, maybe 2 weeks, they had all of a sudden found my records that they had. And the only reason I did that was because they gave me a rating and then lost my records evidently, and then took my rating away. Well, took what it was, because I was like, say here, and then I appealed it, and then when I appealed it, they lost my records evidently, and then dropped me back down under 50. Well, if you're retired, you well know that messes with your retirement pay. So that's money that you count on. And I remember telling my wife, I was like, no wonder the suicide rate's so high. This is I mean, like, I wasn't in that position, but some people are out there that are going through the exact same BS that I'm going through, but they can't take care of their family while they try and figure this shit out. They can't. Right. So then what do? They're like, well, I'll make more money for them dead.
Yep. Hey. Right.
And that's a sad truth. That's
absolutely
truth.
Right.
Yep. So let's talk about something that's a little bit more cheerful. And that is, I'm gonna keep us on a positive note today.
Veterans burial benefits. Yay!
You need to be buried.
What the hell is wrong with that guy? Yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's go Barry Stanford.
So let's talk about a welcome home bonus. You guys ever heard of that?
Never heard it.
So there's quite a few states. I'm not going to name all of them, but Massachusetts and New Hampshire have the biggest ones, right? So for example, if you joined the military from the state of Massachusetts, you deploy a few times, you come home, you get out, you come home, you apply through the state treasury office. I got a $3,500 check. I didn't even know about it. I went to a women's veteran thing. The state treasury was there, and he said, "Have you ever applied?" And I was like, "I don't even know what you're talking about." He said, "Give me a second." Boop, boop, boop. He looked it up, and he goes, "Oh, you've never applied." He emailed me a link. He said, "Apply at this link. As soon as you do, email me back and say I applied." Now, I get home that evening. I applied. I sent him an email. I applied. Now, I got lucky because he did hook me up. Right. So I sent him an email. I said, "Hey, I applied." And he was like, "Sweet, I approved it. You'll get your check in 2 weeks, $3,500 check in the mail."
So wait, what is that about?
Not all states have it, unfortunately. And I just found out today that the state of Illinois has it. But the state of Illinois is only $100. But it's $100. So what it is your state, if they have it. And like I said, there is quite a few states that do have it. I didn't write them down. But if your state has it, they actually will give you a welcome home bonus. Like, hey, you joined the military, you served our country, you came home, here's some money. How much it is, I don't know. Because in Massachusetts, they gave you like a baseline. So like, oh, you'll get this much money because you joined. And you'll get this much money for this deployment, and then this deployment, and this deployment, and this deployment. You guys know I deployed a ton of times.
Holy
every
crap.
Deployment. Actually, I missed one. I told him all of them except for one. And I said, that was some money I missed out on.
Missed it.
But I also wasn't expecting that big of a check either. So all you have to do, and so how I found out about Illinois and a few other states, all you have to do is Google, does my state have a welcome home bonus for veterans? Click enter.
And it has to be the state that you enlisted
you enlisted from. So now the state of Massachusetts is trying to get it changed.
We're red states, Pete.
Yeah.
Yes, Sarah, I am. I am from Fall River.
California didn't feel like paying for our welcome home bonus.
Yeah, so and then there, like I said, there are a lot of states that do it, just not every state. And so the state of Massachusetts has been for quite a few years. They're fighting for it to be, if you are a veteran, whether you joined from Massachusetts or you got out and decided to move to Massachusetts, to allow that bonus to go to any veteran. It has not been approved yet. Only people that joined from Massachusetts. But it is a good thing to look into.
But that reminds me, because me being a veteran from Illinois gave us free college as long as you went to Illinois State sponsored school. So if you joined in Illinois or got out in Illinois, you got 4 free years of college as long as you went to Illinois State sponsored school, Illinois State school or university, and then on top of that, you can double dip with your post 9/11 GI Bill. So all your tuition fee. Well, I'm sorry, before 9/11 Montgomery GI Bill, right? So I used to be able to get my tuition fee and then get my little $1,300 for my Montgomery GI Bill. Then when they changed it to post 9/11, shit, kind of juked it off,
I mean,
that's pretty amazing.
Well, yeah, and Massachusetts is kind of the same way. If you are over the age of 25 and do not have a degree, your associates will be free. You do apply for FAFSA, but your FAFSA, it doesn't charge to you. It's just they got to see, whatever income, whatever, I don't know. But if you're over the age of 25, anyone in Massachusetts, that's free. And they also offer a lot of other things educationally for veterans too.
That's incredible. I mean, never have I heard that ever. No kidding. Wow.
So how many times we have friends, how many times have we sat down and talked and our friends are like, man, I can't get a job because my Corey, or man, I served 15, 20 years and I can't use any of my benefits because I don't have a honorable discharge.
I've heard plenty of people say that. Plenty.
Okay, so there are, and I put up some weird ones for you guys on this one, but there are some law offices that will work with veterans pro bono. So if you're looking for a lawyer in your area, the first and best place, now these people will help you seal a Corey, upgrade your discharge. They do all kinds of stuff, but you can go to lawyersclearinghouse.org. They have lawyers that will work for us for pro bono. We also have veteranslegalservices.org. And just to let you guys know, Veteran Legal Services is Harvard. The Harvard Law School specifically has a veteran department. They have actual lawyers that go in with their law students who are about to become lawyers, and they fight for us for free.
That's why Barron Trump got rejected from Harvard.
That's later, Stanford.
Wow.
That's later,
Hey, he didn't serve, his daddy didn't serve, so they can suck it. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, and when you look at that like the Harvard Law School, that's another thing I wanted to bring up. Have you guys ever heard of Veterans Treatment Court?
No. Oh my God. Seriously, you're asking if we haven't heard any of this shit. This is amazing.
So there are courts. They're throughout the United States also. They're specifically called veteran treatment courts. These courts, if you're a veteran and you get in trouble and you go, hey, I want to be tried at a veteran treatment court, your stuff tends to be a little bit less. Now, you're not going to go murder somebody and then go, I'm on a veteran treatment court. But we have a lot of people that get into a lot of trouble, especially out here in Massachusetts for some reason. I don't know. Maybe everywhere.
Max.
But they can actually go to a veterans treatment court, and instead of like, I have actually seen a couple of people that had drug-related big fights, like, oh, it was an aggravated assault. I was high out my mind. They get sent to the veterans treatment court, and they might do a little bit of time where they'll get the ankle bracelet, and they go through this treatment court. And what they have done is, okay, you going through this treatment court, you go through it for however long the judge determines for. And then as long as that judge says, hey, they successfully completed this, they will do everything in their power to make sure that you are not hindered in work, in getting your license back. If you lost your license, they will fight for it.
Oh my God. Okay, what was it called?
Veterans Treatment Court.
Veterans.
You know what?
Veterans Treatment Court.
You know, I want to piggyback off of my punk ass ex-wife. I want to piggyback off what she just said, but because and she put my, you guys know I've been to federal prison, and she put my business out there. Anyway, so, but to be honest with you, when I got out, when I violated, I got out because I did 2 bids in federal prison. So when I got out my second time, it was the VA program called HUD VASH, and VASH. So VASH is like Section 8, but it's for veterans only and a veterans family. But they got a higher pay gap. So let's say Section 8 in Chicago was like, if you make 40,000, it goes by 1 kid or whatever. The VASH is like, no, you got to make 60. Plus the difference is between VA VASH, which is controlled by the VA, is VA funding, right? compared to Section 8 is that they know veterans are repeat offenders. So it goes back to what Anna said about the drug court, veterans court. So since we are repeat offenders catching felonies before we get our shit together, VASH keeps helping you with your housing. So they pay for your rent. They'll help you buy a house and they'll help you stabilize. And it's for homeless veterans or veterans who got families, and even single veterans that are in need of housing.
What was it called again?
VA VASH.
HUD VASH.
VASH?
HUD. HUDVASH.
SH.
So the only reason I'm saying that because
that's pretty awesome.
I'm going off of what Anna was just saying about the veteran courts. They both go hand in hand. So if any veterans that need help, especially if you got kids, but you're worried about the rent because of inflation, you can get emergency cash housing. They will pay your landlord directly too, quickly.
Wow, that's
pretty awesome. And if you're going through that process and you're going, like, if you're going using SSVF, I hate this because I can never remember what it stands for. Supportive Services for Veteran Families. They will actually help you go through that process too. If you're already working with them, they will help you apply. I actually am working with a couple of veterans that just got their vouchers, and it was the SSVF people out of Vets Inc. that actually helped them get that.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry.
A bunch of advocates. We have a bunch of advocates that are there to help us.
I'm sorry, and I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just thought it came into my head. But one thing I want to let it be known too is that VASH is not. You don't have to be service connected to use VASH. As long as you have an honorable discharge, you can use VASH.
Actually, I think as long as it's not dishonorable. Oh no, you're right. It's the VA. It has to be honorable. Yeah, VA is honorable. So honorable. I do want to tell. I don't know how many people listening are in Massachusetts. So there is a thing in Massachusetts, and it's only in Massachusetts. I've looked it up because I was hoping to say, hey guys, this is in other places. In the Commonwealth of Massachusetts or state of Massachusetts, you do have to use your VSO for it. We have a program called Chapter 115. It is veteran-only financial assistance. Now, we have a lot of elderly veterans out here that cannot work but can't make ends meet.
Like Hog.
Look, even his finger is crippled. That's another crippled thing.
Yeah,
yeah, so like these elderly, or I don't even like calling them elderly, my seasoned veterans, because they're seasoned. They can't work, right? So I have a Korean.
The Tony's bottle fucking just opened up.
So I have a Korean War veteran that was like, I'm 90-something years old and I'm going to be a security guard. No, what are you securing? We're just going to pick you up and move you. Are you shitting me? Like, so I sent him up to the VSO with all the information they needed. And when he got there, they already had everything they needed. And then they said, hey, can you bring me this, and this? And they went ahead and he brought all of that stuff to them. They put everything in the system. He gets an extra $1,800 a month and he never has to work again. He doesn't even have to look.
Damn.
Wow.
So, and I pushed him to go get a disability. I said, get your service connected. I'm not telling you to stop moving. I'm telling you to get what you earned. So,
wow.
I know we're starting to kind of run short on time, and I'm
so real quick. I just want to let you and everybody else here. Stanford told me I should have said this, but I didn't. This episode will probably run long, so if you don't like that, blame Stanford.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going long, Anna. Okay. We're going to be here as long as we need.
So
that's what the black guy says.
The cool thing is that we can cut this down into sections, like, because of the way that you're doing it like we're talking about education right now, and then we're going to talk about this, and then we're going to talk about that. We can cut this down into shorter things later. So it's actually, if people aren't watching live and they're only got a 10-minute attention span, we can still help those people out. They can just like go to the one that they want to watch.
Yeah.
So I wanted to mention some nonprofit organizations that you tend to find throughout the United States where if you go to them, they will help you with almost anything. So, of course, I've mentioned them already, the Disabled American Veterans, the Wounded Warrior Project, everybody knows about them, the Disabled Veterans National Foundation, the National Veterans Legal Services Program, the Paralyzed Veterans of America, the Blinded Veterans Association, Homes for Our Troops, the Fisher House Foundation, Operation First Response, Folds of Honor, Canines for Warriors, and there are so many more.
I'm gonna say this to her also because I got help by Catholic Charities.
Yes. Yeah, and Catholic Charities are pretty much everywhere too. There's other places like I think it's called Tailored for Success or Tailors for Success. That company literally provides suits and even like dresses and stuff for veterans to look nice when they go in for interviews for free.
I've heard of that haircutting one.
So many things. Yeah, I've heard of haircuts, but
wow. So that's another thing I wanted to mention to you guys. I don't know how much information gets put out there. If you are one of my veterans that I work with, I put out so much information that sometimes they're like, please stop, enough. But if you ever hear someone say, hey, I'm going to go to the local stand down, ask them where it's at and go. Local stand downs are amazing. There are tons of companies that come out. Yep, you get a free haircut. There will be people there wanting to do free headshots for you. So you have a professional picture to bring with you or put on your LinkedIn page or whatever it is.
Like how you clean that up. I like how you clean that up because I was thinking a whole different type of headshot.
All right, so Stanford needs to have 10 put into the square bucket just for that. Just for that. That is a 10. That is a 10 spot for you. Holy crap.
At these stand downs, it's one of the things I love. One, they provide food. If you can't make it they literally they provide food. They have the VA or some type of nurses will come out. If it's flu season time, they'll give you your flu shots. They give haircuts. They give free stuff out. They literally did. We had an entire food pantry come out to one of them, just laid food out. Let's go, eat up, take some food. They'll put bounce houses out if it's in the summertime so the kids can have fun.
Oh, Chris, you can have a bouncy house.
So many, and I can't do that because I'll hurt myself, and I know I'll go in it. They even will have people there giving massages and doing Reiki. Yeah, nope, not the happy ending. Don't look like that, Max.
Yeah, all right, Max, just chill out, dude. Chill, all right?
Why I gotta get called out on social media? I need to stand down?
You need to stand the fuck
down. But like, and they're great because they also bring employers out. And these are people that are specifically looking for veterans to hire. They're like, we want veterans. We know how you guys are. We know if we tell you, you start at 8:00, you're going to be there at 7:45, and that's cutting it close.
Not with me.
Right. If you're not early, what are you?
You're late.
There you go.
Hey, how many people got a medal of honor for being late? That's a lot.
What the hell is wrong with this drunk ass? Stand down.
Nobody, if you got that, then you were on time.
Hog's like, what the fuck, dude? It's logic.
Keep my airport.
So another company. Oh, actually, a company I wanted to talk about that, and this actually kind of goes into, and I'm saying local resources because I'm not 100% sure how far their reach is at this point. And I do promise all of you that I will, in July, I'm going to what is called NASWA. It's again, don't ask me what that stands for. It's like a national conference for veterans in DC. It's like almost a full week long. I'll be there for that week. And I'm going to pick up as much national information that I can, and I will pass it along so we can continue passing.
Wow, that's amazing. We'll have to have you back on after that. That's amazing.
So I have me a little pamphlet here, and I know you guys can't really see it, but it's called Operation Blue Pride. And I know these guys are not just in Massachusetts. Last time I had talked to them, they were in different locations. But this is scuba training, so they'll teach you how to scuba dive for veterans, active duty, and Gold Star family members. And I believe the first couple are free.
What the fuck is wrong?
And then, so this is their mission. They say they welcome veterans, active duty, military, and Gold Star families into the scuba diving community at a low or no cost. And they provide basic and advanced scuba dive training and certification because they feel like most of us, when you are physically active, you kind of can help level things out mentally for yourself. So does that always work? No, absolutely not. But this
my
is
thing. You said scuba diving, right?
Yes, scuba diving. So that's why you were swimming.
I just want to fucking get treasure, bro. We can get treasure off the Florida Keys.
Yeah.
Wait, Stanford. Stanford, I have a question for you. Stanford. Can black people swim? I just asked you the question, dude.
Look, you know what the funny thing is? My mom, she forced me to take swimming classes since I was like 8 years old. So I went through all. Then when I went to a white high school, thank you, white people. I had to learn how to swim.
We taught you how to perfect it.
So we didn't oppress all the way down. Taught you how to swim.
No, not you fucking. So I float. I'm a great flotation device.
Oh my God, we're ruining this.
Okay, so here goes another question for you guys, and I'm not sure if I never heard of them until I started this job. Have you guys ever heard of 22 Mohawks?
20 what?
No.
22 Mohawks.
I grew up in the South, so I heard a lot of racist stuff like that. So bring it on, Anna.
22 Mohawks. They are veteran owned and operated. Obviously, the 22 is to bring awareness to 22 a day, right? It is owned and operated by veterans, and they do a lot of things. So they have an annual, you can jump out of a helicopter thing, like, hey, I just feel crazy. I need to let loose. Let's go up in a helicopter. Whoa, yeah, do your thing.
Fuck yeah.
They do different events. One of the biggest things, and this is crazy because one of the biggest things that they do is they train canines. And not only do they train them, you can apply to get one of their dogs that they've trained. And if you get accepted for it, they will bring you in and help you form that connection with the puppy you're going to get.
I've heard of organizations like this one.
And they're and again, I don't know if they're just. I didn't think so, James. When I first met him, I thought he was Dominican.
You know what? Look, fuck you. I'm divorcing you again, bro.
But yeah. So I was working with a veteran. He sat down with me, and I tend to pull the tears out of people. Like if they're having a hard time and they start to talk to me, they end up crying. So this gentleman. You want me to cry?
She tends to make you cry. Is that right, Stanford?
Abusive, bro. She's abusive. You don't understand.
Oh my God. Yeah.
You walked right into that one.
So I sat with him, and he said one of his, both of his dogs had passed away. So he lost one, and then he lost another one. And I said, service dog might be good for you. And I gave him the information for 22 Mohawks. He got approved for the dog and never came back for services. So I was like, well, I helped him out one way, I guess.
Hey, you know what?
Wow.
Win is a win.
Yeah, a win is a win. Perfect.
Okay, so if we're going to talk about, I know I had already mentioned mental health stuff, but I think I need to mention this, the veteran crisis line.
Very important. Very important.
Extremely important because there's 3 ways to get a hold of them. And a lot of people don't believe the second 2. So the first one, of course, you dial 988 and you press 1 and you get somebody on the phone. But if you go online to the Veterans Crisis Line, you can actually get into a chat box and chat away with them on a computer. Someone will pop up and they will talk to you through that chat box. The other thing that you can do is you can text the number 838-255. 838-255. I texted the number and said to them who I was. I said, I don't need help at the moment. I just wanted to know if there was actually a person here. Because I wanted to be able to say, hey, you guys can text this number if you're not comfortable talking on the phone. Because there are a lot of people that are not comfortable on the phone. So those are 3 ways you can get through the crisis line, to the crisis line, if you really need immediate help. In, again, the state of Massachusetts, we have what is called SAVE. They do a lot. And one of the things that I know the SAVE group does is if you call and you say, hey, there's a veteran sitting in the middle of the median, he is not okay or she is not okay, they need someone. And I promise you, out here in Massachusetts, they will say, give me the exact location and the exact city. And someone will show up. And next time you drive by, depending on how far away they are, there will be someone else sitting there with him to make sure they're okay and they don't. So that's
very important. Very important. One of the things that that we have been very vocal about on our podcast, something that a lot of veterans are dealing with, are the loss of friends, the loss of brothers and sisters who served alongside of us. And I mean, we're finding out just through each other as we're doing live broadcasts of those that have taken their lives. And this is extremely important. You need to pass this on to every veteran you know. Yeah, very important. It's pretty emotional.
It is. And one of the things I will say is that I will sit with someone for hours. I don't even have to talk. If you just need someone to sit on the side of you, I just turned purple on my side. I don't know if I changed colors for you guys.
Check that out. Like the Matrix kind of shit there.
Can I just say something though real quick? I just want to say that I feel it's important because it's kind of the reason that we started doing what we're doing is all this information that you are passing on. So anytime that you get new information, even if it can't be all of us, text one of us or call one of us and we'll do
email us.
We'll do a short with you or something and we will get this thing. We'll get the information out there because this is information. This is the reason why we started doing what we're doing. Yeah, sometimes we're funny. Sometimes we do love to talk about politics. Sometimes we're just stupid. But this is the reason.
We are definitely stupid.
This is the reason why we started doing what we do. So please,
absolutely.
Please.
Absolutely. So let's I'm sorry, go ahead, Max.
I'm sorry, Anna. I didn't mean to interrupt. To piggyback off of what Hoggy said, and also to be honest with you guys, the reason I know Hoggy and Pete gives me credit because I'm the one who drunk called and said to start a podcast, but I knew these 2 gentlemen with their background and their influence on my life made a difference, right? And so when we brought a couple of our guys on, especially Yi and his wife, he was about his wife being in the mental service industry, helping veterans and trying to help navigate veteran disorders. And then even though a lot of people might think it's weird, but me and my ex-wife we're actually good friends. And with her knowledge with the DVOP, and even though she works for the state of Massachusetts, Commonwealth, we call it a Commonwealth, but some people are like, what the hell is a Commonwealth? Get some education, fucking assholes. Anyways, the Commonwealth.
This is for after.
She's going to give me information because it's a lot of times, even the local information is actually nationwide. So we want to give you guys the benefit to tell you guys, like what Hoggy said, to let you guys know that these benefits are out there. It's so much that we don't know, and it's a lot of people who want to see us as veterans and even active duty survive. So a lot of times we don't know these programs, and sometimes the VA are slacking in certain things. So our own veterans or civilian people who just love military members and say, "Hey, I see a need. Let me step up," and we want to make sure that those assets are out there so you guys can meet what's going out there to help you as best you can. Yeah, I've been to prison, whatever, and I'm gonna tell you, what helped me with the VA. And then, with my ex-wife and our little thing, whatever. But at the end of the day is we are very appreciative about knowing the system. And you got to know the system. I don't know everything about the system. He got his own struggles with the system. Hockey got his own struggles with the system. Anna has her own struggle with the system. But at the end of the day is these are 3 different veterans with 3 different perspectives, 3 different tours of duty who did their duty. And they're going to tell you, hey, I found this information. I found that. We're going to keep putting it out there. We're going to still talk shit. We're going to still,
He said duty.
I was literally thinking that.
We're going to still talk shit.
This is why I love
We're
Anna.
We're gonna put out there, and Hoggy and his hogwash and his great interviews. He's gonna be one of the best correspondents that we're gonna have pushing it out.
Dude, do you know how hard that is?
Bro, you are.
By the way, if you two get online again without telling me, some shit's gonna fucking go down. All right, that's all I'm gonna say.
Do we have to fly there for it?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but I didn't mean to interrupt that speech, but I know you guys are still listening.
So I wanted to do one last thing, and that is the
Why are you purple?
Like Barney? I don't know. It just went purple, and I can't figure out how to get it to go.
She's purple because she's cool. Shut the fuck up.
Tigers. Go Tigers.
Rainbow ass motherfucker. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Well, I wanted to talk about the benefits that 100% service-connected disabled veterans get. And
assholes. I'm looking at 2 of them right now.
I swear to God.
So,
mute him.
There are some benefits that
he's at the bottom
at the
right
lower
now,
levels get to. I'm 90% connected. I'm not at 100 yet, but I'll be there soon enough. But if you are 100% service connected, you get Champ VA coverage for your dependents, for your eligible dependents, not just because they're, once your kids are a certain age or not in school, they're not eligible anymore. You do get housing support, educational assistance, which we talked about already, which would be like the chapter 31, not the chapter, 31.
Right.
VA home loan funding fee waiver. So if you're 100%, you go to buy a house, your VA home loan funding fee, it's waived. You don't have to pay it.
Oh, hell yeah. I know
your
that
burial
one.
and plot. I am so sorry. My cat just stole a candle. Excuse me for a second.
That does not sound good.
Wait, a cat stole a candle.
This is why
what does that even mean, dude? Right. Pussy will get you in trouble, dude.
I am so sorry. I just looked over and my cat's walking away with a candle.
That's an interesting thing.
We're going to have to discuss that later. Altitude and Attitude After Dark. We're going to discuss cats stealing candles.
What are you going to do with it?
Oh, my cats are a little spiritual. I don't know. I'm gonna have to watch myself.
All right, keep going.
Okay, so as we keep going, you get burial and plot allowance. Now, a lot of veterans will, when a lot of family members of veterans, when the veterans pass away, they don't realize they actually pay for the burial and plot up front, and then they get reimbursed. When you're 100% I believe you're covered. So they don't have to pay for anything when you're 100%. But if you're not 100%, there is your family pays up front, then they submit all the paperwork, and then they get reimbursed.
Can I jump in there real quick?
Mm-hmm.
On the bear part, my uncle, he was an Air Force veteran. He was a load master doing a Persian Gulf, and he passed away. And they did. I wasn't there for his funeral because my daughter was being born. But my stepfather, who was a Marine who served in Vietnam, that funeral was great. And my mother can attest that if it wasn't for the VA and the Bureau of Benefits, they made it so easy to walk him through, to give him his honors into the honor guard out there. So if you guys have any veteran members that pass away or get into that time because they're elders, right? And they're about to pass, please make sure you're on top of that information, because they make the transition, they make that headache a lot easier than what you think. So I'm sorry about that.
No, that's okay. I'm actually
100%.
glad you said that, because I found out recently, one of the veterans I was working with, he passed away. He drowned saving his son and his niece's life. And it broke my heart because he was such a good guy. And I don't have access to his wife, so I'm trying to get information to her. So if your spouse is a veteran and they pass away, you can actually collect their Social Security. And you also need to go to the VA so you get your dependent benefits. So those are some of the things I wanted to let this woman know, because it was sudden. He was young. He was only in his 30s. And his son and his niece were getting pulled out in a riptide. He jumped in to save them, got them out, and then he drowned. So, yeah. And it, like I said, it was heartbreaking. And I found out because I Googled his name. So, oh
my God.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
So another benefit is commissary and exchange privileges, and also that the MWR benefits. You also get that when you're at a lower percent. I think that kicks in when you're like 50% or above.
Nope, 10% player.
Okay.
Patriot Act. I mean, whatever they changed it, 10%.
You also get VA aid and attendance.
The hell's wrong with them, Patriot Act? Shut up.
I'm a patriot, you motherfuckers. You look. I'm the new ICE.
So you also get VA aid and attendance, which I do believe means that if you are in a position where you need care in your home, you'll get that care that's covered by the VA. Only veterans that are 100% get dental care at the VA. I do not know if that's good dental care or not, because I'm not 100%, and I don't know if I trust that. Of course, we talked about it before. Social Security benefits. If you're 100% unemployable, get your Social Security benefits.
Yeah, Social Security, absolutely.
Okay.
One of our viewers said something about West Virginia. I'm sorry, Anna. I can't. They said something about West Virginia benefits.
I put that up. It's that you can get buried in that state for free if you. Yep.
Yeah. So
you can read that.
There's many different benefits that are statewide, like that are just state specific, right? First, some of the state specific that I think are actually national, to be honest with you. If you're 100%, you have property tax exemptions, homestead exemptions, vehicle registration exemptions. So those are things, if you're 100%, make sure that you have your paperwork turned in so you don't have to pay your taxes.
Yeah, you aren't kidding. I have lost out on tens of thousands of dollars because I only found out last week from Hogg that I could have. Jesus, I'm pissed off about that.
You should thank Hoggy for that. He should have told you from the jump.
No. You should have told me that you were married to her from the beginning. This is all your fault This is your fault.
Hey, we're divorced now. Get that right, motherfucker. Divorce.
I'm trying to figure out how the hell she got rid of you.
Bro, I put a baby in her. She ain't going.
No.
Years,
Wait,
30 years, and you just keep,
Hog.
like popping up like herpes.
Hey,
Every time I get rid of you, you come back. Drunken phone call, and next thing you know, I'm doing spending money on computers.
fucking podcast,
Come
right?
to HPV, baby.
The bigger question is, Hog, let's pretend like he's not here. And I'm gonna ask you this one. How do you think he fucked this one up? I mean, seriously. How did he fuck that
First
up?
of all,
Damn.
let me tell you something.
Yo, you're at the bottom. Let the text artist talk.
Hey, my taste when women are smart is very great. Me being, I'm better now. I'm older. I'm seasoned.
You can take a break now.
You can, yeah, there you go.
Crazy ass. All right. So, do you guys remember Space Aid travel, where you could travel for free if you can fit?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is also a benefit for you if you're 100%. So you can actually start using Space Aid travel again.
Space Aid, brother. Space Aid.
And then, for those of you that like to fish and like to hunt, you get free or discounted fishing or hunting licenses.
I did know that.
The other thing would be, and this is the last one I'll bring up, is the free access to the national parks.
That's a good one. Ooh, that's nice.
You don't believe you. So you know what's funny?
Like a whole tray of food.
I know it looked like a
whole tray,
like a bowl of pho. It looked awesome. I was like, damn.
You know what's funny about the national park one?
My wife's not coming in with that.
We live so close to Arcadia. They said that's like one of the best national parks in the nation. Arcadia over there in Maine, and I want to use that. That's the one I want to use.
Oh,
I haven't been to that one, but Zion for me was like, I don't care. I know I don't like. I mean, I'm not a big supporter of Mormons or anything, but Jesus Christ, Utah, they got that shit going on, bro.
Hey, he was in Utah.
Zion National Park is freaking awesome.
We went to the Rock of the Gods or something. It was beautiful, bro.
The Garden of the Gods?
Was Black Sabbath there or Led Zeppelin?
Bro, it was white people. So it's White Zeppelin, White Tiger,
White Zeppelin. Yeah, I mean, yeah. There weren't too many black people in Zeppelin. I'm just saying.
That would be the Garden of the Gods, by the way.
The Garden of the Gods was the shit.
It's all right. It's all right. Stanford, you should stand down.
Yeah. All right.
But as of right now, I don't have anything else for you guys. If you guys have questions, I can try to answer them as well as I can. But I just want to let you guys know I am old and I am past my bedtime.
Yeah. Let's just let Pete start.
I mean, she's obviously past her bedtime. She's turned purple, guys. Come on.
The music. That was the end of their marriage.
I got to tell you something. This has been so far my favorite podcast that we have done. Really, having Anna here has. Before we started this, my blood pressure was high. I was just so pissed off about what's going on. But it's so nice to hear about all of the good things that are out there for those of us, the real 1%ers, those of us who have served our country and put on the uniform. It's been absolutely wonderful having you here. We've had so many people asking for you to come back. So after your little trip to, what'd you say? You're going to Washington?
Yep, I'm going to
right?
DC. Yep.
Yeah. So after that, to all of our fans, we have fans, guys. Get that?
No, we just got people that wants to shit on us.
We people that feel sorry for us. They're like, "Aw,
it was one of the better episodes." So
this was the best episode. But after you come back, Anna, we would love to have you back on this show so you can tell us what you found out. I mean, this has been amazing.
Yeah, I'd be honored to come back. Thank you guys so much for having me. And for all the positive comments in the side too, because I've been trying to read them as we're going too. So thank you guys.
You can read. You married me, Nick.
Me?
I also want to have an episode.
Apparently, she can because she dropped your ass.
I also want to have an episode of what it was like to be married to this asshole.
And we will mute him the whole fucking time.
It wouldn't be like being married to him then. Dear God.
First of all, look. Me. I'm gonna say this 100% though. Me and my ex-wife, we're good friends. We got a beautiful daughter that we're raising, and I'm grateful for her expertise with veteran benefits, because a lot of times you guys need I live in New England. You guys need access to this information, so I'm happy to have somebody who knows this a little bit more intimately, knows the terminology, and if she doesn't know everything, she's actually willing to help people from other states. So don't be afraid to email Altitude Attitude or drop a tag and ask us questions, because we are here to help you guys. Because at the end of the day, even though we're shooting the shit as a podcast, but our mission was to help people, especially our own veteran community, to any kind of resources that we can help them, navigate to the next level. So.
And I'll also look into it and see if they do have anything for brats. I'm a brat too. My dad was in the Air Force also, so I'll look into it and see if there is any benefits, and if there are, I'll send it out to the guys, and then they can get it out to all of you.
That's awesome.
Well, having you here has been an absolute pleasure for all of us. And we're definitely going to bring you back on here. And thank you for everybody in the chat who has gotten involved. We've really enjoyed it. Please reach out to us, like Stanford said, at nowayinhellpod@gmail.com. We are going to compile all of this information that Anna has given us, and we're going to put it in the description. We're going to put it on our Facebook page. It's please share it with every veteran that you know. And I can't thank you enough, Anna, for being here. It's been amazing.
I appreciate it. Thank you,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thank you to everybody who has tuned in. And we just want to remind you to please like and subscribe to our channel. Subscribing doesn't cost you anything, but it really helps us to be able to promote our channel. We really appreciate it, and thank you so much. And remember, if you're not pissed off, you're not listening.